Cocktail Conversations, candid insights from startup founders, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders from around the globe.
So my name is Brian Spaley. I'm the CEO of Trunk Club, which is a startup based here in Chicago. We dress men for a living. So basically the theory goes something like this: guys love to look good but hate shopping. So we send them awesome clothes, they keep what they like, they send back what they don't, and ideally we have them as customers for life. So it's a ton of fun. We're based in River North. We've got almost 100 people on the staff now. We've raised 3 rounds of financing and are just off to the races to try to build a better version of Nordstrom. This is my second startup. The first startup was Bonobos, which is a men's trousers and other apparel company based in New York. And when I was at Bonobos, I realized that guys didn't even like going online to buy our trousers, even though they really wanted the product. And so I began to sense that really men needed help with the entire process of like thinking about how to upgrade their wardrobe. And so Trunk Club was a natural next extension for me in terms of the evolution of like my startups in the men's apparel world, to kind of find a way to make it easy for even the most stubborn or least likely to go out and shop or go online and buy products guy, and really encourage him to spend more and think more about how to look good and how to upgrade his wardrobe. My calling is just to help guys look better and to help guys enjoy that process and to get them more energized and excited about the process of actually dressing in the morning, looking good, and hopefully imbuing like more of a positive image on the way that they feel about themselves. So I think, everyone's had that kind of like pep in your step, like I look good feeling, and I really like helping guys get there. So it's kind of my lifelong mission, and then along the way, if I can keep you from having to go to the mall, which we all think kind of sucks, then I've done my job. It's a long story how I ended up here and running Trunk Club. It involves actually buying Trunk Club or investing in Trunk Club when it was based in Bend, Oregon, and had 1 full-time employee. So it's a really small business that was looking for kind of like a founding CEO type and some funding. And some friends of mine in the Bay Area said, hey, we want you to take this over. We hear you're leaving Bonobos. My partner and I at Bonobos had sort of a 2-in-a-box isn't working, different visions. One of us decided, one of us should leave while the other one stays. And it was a pretty amicable breakup, but we decided that I would move on. And so I got a call from these guys that said, hey, we want you to take over this business. We'll invest if you take over, and we can give you a really big chunk of the equity because you're basically going to become like the founder of the business because it was so small. But it had a really good kernel of an idea, which is helping guys get great clothes without going to the store. And so they said, hey, we think you need to move this business to either New York or San Francisco, where the fashion world is, and it's an investment firm based in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, and they thought, oh, you should be near us, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'll take the job. I'll invest a lot of my own money in the business. I will become the CEO, and I will bring a lot of people from my network into the company, but I want to do it in Chicago. And they said, why? I said, because Chicago's an awesome town. I want to live there. I love the people there. I think there's great work ethic. I think it's an awesome place to hire one of the things that we needed the most, which is salespeople. And so if you think about the landscape of startups here, surely it's not nearly so large as the ecosystem that exists in Silicon Valley, where I went to business school, or even on the East Coast, New York and Boston. More population density, more startups, more venture capital firms. But there's an immense amount of talent here, and a lot of it's trapped in these big companies, like Gatorade or Allstate or Sears. And I've always believed that commute out to the suburbs, if you live in the city, it grinds the soul. So I put this business in River North. You can throw a tennis ball into the L stop from our office. We have an amazing loft and workspace, and we get a ton of resumes. We have so many people that want to come work for us. And so, well, sure, we don't have like all of the high-end engineering talent of San Francisco, and we don't have all of the fashion talent of New York or LA. We have a ton of people who are willing to work really hard just to get a job, and they're not entitled, and they're not difficult to work with, and they aren't New Yorkers. They're just like good down-home Midwestern people, and so it's worked really well. My theory, I would sort of sum it up as like talent arbitrage. Like being in Chicago gave me, there's just not a lot of competition. If someone wants to work at a fashion startup, where else are they going to go in this town? You need a lot of people that have a lot of talents that are relevant for our business live here. And so we've had great success with that sort of from a recruiting perspective. And so is it hard? Yeah, occasionally it's a little bit harder to have to go to the Bay Area to fundraise, or to have to, we don't quite have the network that exists in some of the other, on the coasts, but I think that that's been greatly outweighed by the ability to hire such awesome people that work so hard. We're not technically a subscription model. We do have many attributes that make us feel like us, and we can be. If you're a customer and you say, send me new clothes every month, we'll do it. So we can be a subscription model, but ultimately what we are is, if you think about the evolution of e-commerce and sort of B2C internet companies, where we sit is this sort of newest phase, cutting edge, which is like assisted commerce. So we've got a website that explains exactly what we do, and you can sign up, and we take advantage of all kinds of Web 2.0 technologies, and we reach our customers via social networking and a bunch of other sort of newer, trending, digital era type things. Yet, at the end of the day, we're really just a service, right? We're a technology-enabled service, and so I think you'll see more of this, like Redfin, the real estate company, is a great example. National platform, awesome website, search engine optimized, yet to use Redfin, you have a local agent who like takes you to a home and you save money because you're buying with somebody that's rebating your commission, right? And so it's just a classic, like it's a service business, real estate, with technology to empower a new model, and I think that we're a similar, I would compare us more to Redfin than I would to say Birchbox or Beachmint or Shoe Dazzle. Entrepreneurship I think it should be driven by authenticity around solving a problem that you have or that you see in your line of work or your field or your industry versus saying, oh, I want to go work at a startup because I want to, work with young people or be in the technology field or whatever. So I think having a passion for the actual mission of the company you're either going to start or join is really important. And then the other thing I tell people is fail fast, cheaply, which means, I don't want you to fail, but if you do it sooner than later. Like, go make a product, see if you can sell it, versus, writing long business plans and spending a ton of time talking to people and trying to raise money. Like, go see if it works. See if people want what you got, And so, iterate, move quickly, test, measure, and last piece, like, if you do fail, that's okay, right? And that's one of the real gems of learning I picked up at Stanford Business School, and I'm trying to sort of bring back to the Midwest, which is like, it's okay to like go off on your own and totally blow it, right? At least you tried. It's like a down payment against having a midlife crisis. So go out, give it a shot, get help, but also like figure out quickly if it's gonna work or not. And if it's working, invest heavily, quit your day job, put money into it and see if you can make it a big business. If it's not, go on to the next one or join a startup that is working.